Namaste, producers, and welcome to Soul Horoscope Super Scopes. My name is Christopher Witecki. I'm your sensei to serious joy, and this is the Soul Horoscope for Tauruses and Taurus Risings, whom I call the Step 10s. And I am in present company, by the way. I am also a Taurus, so welcome. We are stepping into a new inner faith, and this might be a profound inner faith and the end of a long cycle before the birthday period coming up just around the corner. There are a lot of changes going on. In the last month, Tauruses were figuring out where their heart belonged as far as the world is concerned. That can be neighborhood, friendship, connection to your reputation and seeking what you're seeking in the world, all these different types of changes. And I think that Tauruses, for the first time, are pretty clear on where they are going and growing, but there are many changes still happening and in effect. For instance, Mars is retrograde. Mars is the masculine testosterone energy on the planet, and it is now retrograding, meaning that we're taking a moment and stepping back in what we act on or don't act on in the moment. For Taurus and Taurus Risings, this means that you will be reconsidering your lifestyle, which is how you work, how you dress, how you live, how you commute or don't commute, what you do you walk the dog or not walk the dog, all these things in the moment until May 20th, well after our birthday period. So we're going to be reinventing life and in the moment. That includes health and also connection to the moment. That's the possibility of performance for those of you who are performers or dancers or whatever. And I know this is an area that you've been back and forth with, but considering where all the changes have been, particularly with the mirage, which we'll talk about next, it is now time to upgrade the lifestyle once again. So be patient with yourself in that regard. Now, Saturn is retrograde, which means that you get a break on relationship development for a while. So no longer having to be more responsible with yourself. Instead, just filling in the gaps where you have skipped steps, or filling in the gaps and being responsible in the areas that you already know, but not new areas. That means that you probably won't attract anything that you can't handle at this time, but you may very well attract what you do deserve. You might see another round of long-term partnerships come in this retrograde. You might see old past lives come in during this retrograde, FYI, during this little rest. However, attitude and ability to be a messenger or be a communicator is moving forward. So for persons like myself, it's time for us to move forward. And here I am. Jupiter's direct, and I'm moving forward with my message, and you will too. And it will be nonstop until Jupiter in Leo this summer, which means expansion of mind, expansion of vocabulary, expansion of attitude. Of course, you must be more and more mindful of what? Your emotions before stepping out into anything in the world. That is the advice of Jupiter. But what is it really about right now? Well, the ego, action, and identity energy of Aries, which is this spectrum right here, for Tauruses really steps into the I sense state of awareness, which is your psychic awareness. So you are clearing out psychic intuition at the core of this, which means you have to clear out your fears and your guilt and your that sort of thing, where you have to forgive and forget yourself. And that might be the hardest part. I think a lot of the reasons why Tauruses are so strong is because they are so strong within. But sometimes that can be strong on the wrong side of the fence, strong on the wrong side of what your heart really wants, strong for the wrong reasons to prove mom or dad wrong. And so these types of false strengths inside will collapse, particularly this week. And that's what you're building, is basically your inner faith. By the end of this transit, I argue Taurus and Taurus Risings will be stepping into a new inner faith that is going to be one you live with for some time. Probably about 6 years, maybe, I think. An inner faith that lasts about 6 years. So this is a new inner faith, a new realm that is very important, and a new strength that comes from the heart that turns into faith, that turns into miracles and manifestation later on. All right? So where are we this week? Well, we have a breakdown in the old faith and a breakdown in the old mechanisms, particularly on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's where Uranus will rule the day, and that's where the old faith in yourself will be gone, and you must step into a new inner faith. Now, what's happening is you are feeling very philosophical and maybe wanting to educate or grow anyways, so that's not too bad. The moon in Capricorn will pretty much stabilize to some degree. I think the Taurus is in the breakdown, so although there is shift maybe falling out under you, the moon in Capricorn is kind of like, probably not a surprise to the bull as to what is collapsing because of the nature of the moon in Capricorn. By Wednesday, the moon moves into Aquarius by Tuesday, Wednesday, and that shifts emotions now to career and legacy. And really by Thursday, Love Fest Day, the most powerful day of the month to give and exchange love, will come, frankly, for career issues for Tauruses. So you will start to see your early January pay off now of your investments and a lot of giving and receiving from career potential, which of course turns into earning potential and all those sorts of things. But I think for Tauruses and Taurus Risings, it's going to help you feel like, things are progressing, particularly since lifestyle and other things are on major reconstruction for the Tauruses and Taurus Risings. So to feel career going forward, even though lifestyle is retrograding, I think will be a good breath of fresh air. Then on Friday, it's at this point that you really have to step away from some sort of inner faith issue or false strength. So if you were standing on false strength in the past, or always have stood on false strength, and that might just be beating up on yourself to be strong, which doesn't really work. It's a very low resolution solution to inner faith. It's time to decide and move forward. Now, when you are stepping into a faith, though, you also are feeling your reputation in society, which is something you were just massaging in the last period of last month. So there's something about your social reputation and where you're belonging or shifting or how that's manifesting that actually leads to the decision of faith. It could very well be, Taurus, some sort of opportunity that comes socially to you, friendship or otherwise, that it just really calls to your attention and says, all right, I need to be there for myself right now inside and be strong because I don't want to lose this opportunity. So be mindful of all of the above. Now, taking a sneak peek at next week, it's really about Light Cast Day, which is the new moon on Sunday. The sun and moon come together, which is the 30th of March. And when they come together, you're going to have a real test of faith, probably really make some sort of leap on that Sunday for yourself and in your heart, and holding and loving and trusting in that leap. You may see results of that investment as of Monday and Tuesday as the sun literally crosses and you have a bit of a spiritual faith shift, I believe, Monday and Tuesday moving into next week. And then the moon moves into Taurus, which will feel very good, I believe. Now, for those of you who have a 10VQ, which means your Venus is in Taurus, like myself, this is going to be really about shifting by the decisions you make for your future. That puts you in place for true love or not. So you want to be very clear on who you aren't, and you also want to be open to passion in the future. So it's very futuristic, it's very big picture for the 10VQs, and you are laying and planting the seeds that will bring crops probably in love, maybe as soon as Jupiter in Leo. So just about holding out a bit through the summer, to the summer. But for 10VQs, be open to the introductions. In fact, it's highly likely that it's through work that you would find love right now for the 10VQs. Venus in Taurus. And for those who want to know how this all ends, I've recorded what I call a monthly megascope. It gives you the whole month of March and how the sun and the sun and in Aries crossing Uranus will end up for you, Taurus, in interfaith. Plus, I can go a bit deeper on these longer videos. They're available at soulmart.me for $9.99, and they play on Android or iPhone. All right, my bulls, my fellow bulls, good luck with all these changes and interfaith. I'm excited for our birthdays. It's going to be fun. Hang in there. I'll see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.